This may be the most incredible story of faith and divine intervention you've ever heard. We're diving into one of the most dramatic moments in biblical history, the story of Moses and the Israelites crossing the Red Sea. A tale of faith, desperation, courage, and an extraordinary miracle that would echo through the generations. Imagine this. The sun is setting over the sandy dunes of Egypt. The air is thick with tension, not only from the desert heat, but also from the massive crowds of people grouping together. Over 600,000 Israelites. Men, women, and children, young and old alike, are fleeing from centuries of relentless slavery under the Pharaoh of Egypt. They don't know exactly where they're going, but the promise of freedom has ignited hope in their hearts. Now here comes the twist. Hot on their heels are the chariots, horses, and furious soldiers of the Pharaoh himself. He has no intention of letting his workforce go so easily. Moses, their leader, stands tall amidst the chaos. Let's talk about Moses for a moment. Picture a man of great stature, wisdom, and an unshakable belief in God despite impossible odds. Now imagine the kind of weight he must feel on his shoulders as he leads this mass exodus, knowing what's at stake if they're caught. Behind him rushes the Egyptian army, relentless, angry, dangerous. Ahead of him sprawls the Red Sea, vast, deep, and impassable. We all know how terrifying it feels to face an impossible wall in our own lives. Maybe it's a dead end in a relationship, financial troubles, or an unachievable goal. Moses' faith is about to inspire us all. Moses stretches out his hand over the waters. In that moment, imagine the murmur rippling through the crowd, each person wondering what Moses is doing, how he can possibly protect them. He prays, as he's done 1,000 times before, asking for the guidance and power of God. And then, the unimaginable happens. A roaring wind, strong and divine, bursts through the atmosphere. It's no ordinary wind. This is the clear presence of the Almighty. The waters begin to churn violently. The Bible describes this moment as the water parting into towering walls, creating a dry land pathway right through the middle of the sea. It's hard to even comprehend, isn't it? Try to visualize it. Imagine the wide-eyed astonishment of the Israelites as they take their first nervous step into the divided sea. The children cry out in amazement. Parents look to the sky with silent gratitude. The walls of water shimmer eerily in the moonlight, held back by the invisible hand of God. They move, slowly at first, their faith carrying them forward as they make their way across this divine corridor. The Egyptian army, however, is unfazed. The Pharaoh commands them to charge onward, thinking they too can escape through this miraculous phenomenon. The chariots rumble against the dry seabed, soldiers shouting and closing in on the Israelites. But just as they reach the heart of the sea, God acts once more. The walls of water come crashing down in a thunderous flood, swallowing the Pharaoh's army whole. Not a single soldier survives. The Israelites, finally safe on the other side, erupt into cries of joy and disbelief. Their faith, under impossible pressure, has been rewarded. Moses lifts his hands in thanksgiving. The people sing praises of deliverance, giving glory to the divine power that transformed their fate. What's truly remarkable about this story is not just the spectacle of the Red Sea parting, but the unshakable lesson it offers. When all seems lost, and we're standing at the edge of our own Red Sea, our faith can move mountains, or, in this case, seas. The courage it takes to keep praying, to trust in the unseen, and to believe that God will always make a way. That's what this story is all about. And think about it. Has there ever been a time in your life when you faced the impossible? When you thought there was no way forward? Were you able to have faith, like Moses and the Israelites, even when the path wasn't visible? If so, you've touched the power of this story. The crossing of the Red Sea isn't just a record of divine power. It's a call to keep moving, to trust God with all our hearts, no matter how high the odds are stacked against us. So, as we finish retelling this powerful tale, ask yourself, what Red Sea am I facing in my life? What walls seem impassable? Take courage from Moses and his unwavering faith. Remember, God is still in the business of parting seas.